Before you start typing any angry comments, let me explain. Hi everyone, my name is Kat, welcome to my AuthorTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the dreaded writer's block, what you can do about it, and why I don't really think it's real. The last point is probably the most controversial, so let's get it out of the way. So let me tell you a bit about my life. I'm also a professional non-fiction writer, and when I started out, I wrote product descriptions of cell phone accessories. Do you think I was super inspired to write when I had to describe the exact same green plain cell phone case that just was for a different model for the 15th time? Nope. Did I do it anyway? And did I do it fast because the number of texts that I wrote was part of my performance measurements? Yup. Was it always great and innovative writing? Why, of course it was. Not. My Google list probably looked something like this. Green associations, idioms green, children's songs green, green, color green, help me, green. But I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Writing doesn't always have to be great. Nothing prevents you from at least writing something down. You don't have to sit with your little quill and your little ink bottle and be worried about spoiling precious paper. You don't even have to use correcting tape on your typewritten manuscript. You have a computer, which is the best tool to write something awkward and clumsy and crappy that you can then take and turn into something beautiful later on. And that's why I think that writer's block isn't real. I think this is just an excuse not to write because you feel that you have to produce something that is good in a first draft, and that's why your brain kind of paralyzes you when you look at the blank screen. So this is basically my attitude towards writer's block. I don't think it's real. And here are my tips of how you can produce at least something, even if that something is very bad, in your next writing session. Tip number 1, identify what's blocking you. Is it a physical or mental illness? Is it a problem with your story? Is it a bear that sneaked into your apartment and is now using your computer to browse bear Craigslist and look for bear furniture? The following tips are if your problem lies with your actual work in progress. That's because I'm a writer, so I can't give you any advice on physical or mental health, except for if you haven't already, please get help. It's not cool to be a tortured writer. And if the bear thing is your problem, good luck. Tip number 2, change your writing style. Maybe you are a plotter trying to be a pantser or the other way around. So really experiment with writing styles and working styles and then do whatever works best for you. This might mean that you have to sit down at some point and just start writing even if you haven't figured it all out yet, or that you might just have to make that outline that you really didn't want to make. Tip number 3, allow your brain to be bored. We live in a society where everyone has to be busy all the time and where there's a lot of performance pressure. But one of the best tips I can give you is to do something mundane, without background noise, without YouTube or an audiobook in the background. And by something mundane, I mean do the dishes, fold laundry, go for a walk in the forest. This will allow your brain to process things and then everything just might fall into place. Tip number 4, ask some questions about your work in progress. Don't just stare at the blank screen. Identify where you get stuck and what the actual problem is. You can ask some how, why, when, what questions. You can draw a graph to visualize how your story escalates and where it's dropping and might need some polishing. You can also read your story aloud to see if it sounds clumsy and awkward. Tip number 5, get some help. Yes, this is your story, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it all alone. Just talk with your partner, friends, critique partners. They might throw you an idea. It might not even be the idea that you end up using in your writing, but it might give you a new idea or a new perspective and help you to move along. Tip number 6, switch it up. Make a soundtrack for your work in progress and imagine that it's a movie, or think about it as a play. Whatever helps you to get a fresh perspective, do that. Tip number 7, do stream of consciousness writing. Write your heart out, even if it's very bad, and just don't stop. Even if it's something like, and then he kissed her and she was like, wow, this is very nice and this is very bad writing, what am I even doing? Who cares? Just write. Tip number 8, write fan fiction. I don't personally write fan fiction, but I can imagine that this might be very helpful for some people, because you already have a setting and characters that you are familiar with, so it might be easier to get a story going. Tip number 9, do a little less whining and a little more writing. Yep, writing is hard, and nobody's inspired all of the time. But remember, writer's block isn't real, so take those little fingers of yours, put them to the keyboard, and then write. If you can't bring yourself to produce bad first drafts and then improve them, you might have to ask yourself the question if you are more in love with the idea of being a writer than you actually like being a writer. I'm here to make you feel slightly attacked, but also to help you. So this was my bit of tough love for the day, and I really hope it was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and also let me know if you have any other video ideas and any other topics that you would like me to talk about in the future. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and share it, and also come to hang out with me on all of my social media. I am at @catsperlingbooks pretty much everywhere, except for Twitter, where I am at @ksperlingbooks. Thank you so much for watching today, and now I really hope that you can get out of this idea of writer's block and go and produce your next great story. I have faith in you, so good luck, and I will see you next week. Bye! Bye!